We've seen dozens of migrants leaving Sfax to the coast to cross illegally into Europe. What do you make of the situation there, and how is the Coast Guard acting to prevent but also protect these migrants?
Yes, I mean, we are doing our best for both aspects. I mean, we need to protect the migrants, of course. They are human beings, and it is part of our DNA to protect them, and our commitments internationally, of course, nationally and internationally as well. But also, we are doing our best in order to survey our coasts and to make sure that nobody is tempted to cross illegally the sea from our side.
And how are you doing that, sir?
Well, each one in his own domain of activity, of course, but it is sure that we cannot, as I said, I mean, we cannot protect all the coasts all the time 100%.
There's been a crackdown in the capital on undocumented sub-Saharan African migrants. That's obviously pushed many of them out to the coast to leave to Europe as soon as possible. How has the current climate actually aggravated illegal immigration to Europe?
So we have really acted on all fronts as quickly as we could, because we had the impression that we were facing a real machine that just exploded in our face. I mean, and this was very tough, and we couldn't really understand. Tunisia is very well known for being a welcoming country and very nice part of the world to live in. So it was we were frustrated, and we thought it was an unfair trial.
So what is the link then between the president's comments and the authorities, you know, cracking down on landlords, on employers who've been, you know, accommodating black migrants?
No, as I said, I mean, so many different parts are involved in this question and had interest in just letting the situation like that without any information about it. You know, people were maybe employing some of them, maybe people were living from that dirty traffic of human beings. All of those, of course, had interest in putting the focus on what the president had said or hadn't said.
There's currently no national asylum law. So although the constitution dictates that Tunisia has to grant asylum seekers refuge, there's no asylum law that actually regulates or safeguards this process. How can migrants then actually get the documentation they need to live in Tunisia safely and peacefully?
No, many measures have been taken in order to facilitate their stay, whether they are if they are legal migrants, if they are illegal, how to be brought back to their own countries with all the protection. And when it comes to the new legislation that we should be providing, we have now a new parliament, and for sure they will be dealing with this this issue with others. So, and beside that, Tunisia is respecting all the international commitments of the country when it comes to protection of migrants.
How are they being protected, sir? What's in place to protect them?
I think at all levels. I mean, at all levels. Again, our authorities, even for those who could have been, I mean, harmed or anything or threatened. This can happen in every country. I mean, we were, as authority, we were not responsible for what person was doing. I mean, you know that many individuals could have take this opportunity in order to act badly. This can happen everywhere. We didn't want to give a list of what is happening outside Tunisia in other supposed advanced countries in terms of racism. We didn't want to make that list, and we were very uncomfortable to be put in a corner and asked why this is happening in Tunisia, etc. We were very uncomfortable with that, and we still feel that this has been unfair with us.
So, I mean, the government can't take responsibility for the hate crimes that followed the president's comments, but the president's comments themselves, do you not see them as racist?
Not at all, not at all. I was in the meeting. I mean, No, not at all. I mean, again, people had many had concentrated on one element and forgetting about all the rest. I mean, the problem of the international problem of migrants is something which is above Tunisia. It's in link with so many different countries. I mean, why should we focus on one information, specific information, and make of this one a big
But would you
issue?
say that saying that black sub-Saharan African migrants are a threat to national identity isn't a racist comment?
It is not what the president has written. The fact that you cite a study or a book or an idea doesn't mean that you do agree with that, or you are promoting it, or I mean, it's one element of information among so many others.
Just to go back to illegal immigration as a whole, Tunisia, evidence is pointing towards Tunisia becoming the next big gateway for migrant crossings. Libya has become more and more unsafe for migrants to cross. What are you going to do about this? And is this the reality for Tunisia moving forward?
This is what we are convincing, trying to convince our partners that they have interest in having Tunisia back its economy and stable, and the stability of Tunisia is very much linked with the economy. It's not a problem of political problem in Tunisia. The political problem in Tunisia are solved between Tunisians themselves, and they know what they want. They are backing the president. I mean, the political process is
But there have
ongoing.
been protests. There have been mass protests actually condemning the president's speech and his action.
Mass protests?
I mean,
No.
we saw
maybe
visuals of
mass financed. Yes, but mass protests, no.